Hocam bir şey sorabilir miyim?
Tabii buyur.
Bu sunumunuzu paylaşacak mısınız bizimle? Örnek sunumu.
Paylaşayım. İstiyorsanız paylaşırım.
Hocam güzel olur. Onun üzerine bir daha
Ama
bakarsak.
benimki mükemmel değil ki. Bence benimkine öyle kalmayın yani. Hani bu yani benimkine birebir yapıp düşük not alabilirsiniz yani. Çünkü ben kendimki mükemmel de bulmuyorum. Hani onun yerine ben size şeyi paylaşayım. Zaten paylaşacaktım da işte bugün atarım onu. Bu 5 farklı kaynağın ne olması gerekiyor diyor anlattığı şey var ya. Bence onun üzerinden gidin. Yani ben sonuçta ölümlü bir insanım yani. Ama diğer tarafta insanoğlunun ulaştığı bilgi birikimi var. Yani diğer tarafı kullanmak bence daha mantıklı. Yine de atarım örnek olsun diye. Yani Uber'in pişteki benimkinden iyidir mutlaka. Farkı benimkinin oyun özelinde olması. Oyun
O
özelinde de
zaman
başka piştekler
konu
var.
başlığı olarak yani nasıl ilerlememiz gerektiğini en azından bir oyun özelinde bir şey görürsek daha iyi olur. En azından
Evet,
benim adıma.
tabii ona da aslında siz karar vereceksiniz ama asıl amacın finansal bir projeksiyon sağlamak olduğunu unutmayın. Çünkü siz bunu yatırımcıya oyununuzu satmak için, oyun fikrinizi e, desteklemesine ikna etmek için aslında yapıyorsunuz. O hedefi aklınızdan
Ben bir de
çıkarmayın.
sorabilir miyim?
Tabii buyur.
Vardı. Co-founder'ları tanıttın demiştiniz. Orada ya biz tek kişiyiz. İşe alacağımız ekipten mi bahsedelim biraz yoksa hayali
Yok.
karakterler mi?
Yani nasıl yapın bilmiyorum. Ben ikisini de kabul ederim. Çünkü ben işin pratikteki, sektördeki mantığını anlattım. Ama hani sonuçta ödev için e, hayali karakter yaratmanıza gerek yok. Yaratırsanız da kötü olmaz. Yani ikisi de mümkün. Ben ikisini de kabul ederim. Hatta o slaytı hiç koymasanız bile olabilir yani. Onu da kabul ederim. Siz 5 dakikanızı nasıl e, kullanacaksanız ama yani şunu göz önünde bulundurun bence. Eğer raporunuzda işte Türkiye'deki en iyi backend developer'ı e, kiralayacağız diyorsanız onu koyun abi presentation'ınıza yani. Hani ya da ben işte e, Peak'teki işte public relations ta çalışan adamı tutup getireceğim benim için PR çok önemli diyorsanız onu sununuza da koyun ki hani en azından tutarlı olsun, consistent olsun. Hani böyle bir önerim olabilir. Hı. Ama öyle bir şey demiyorsanız işte bana 2 junior lazım. İşte bir tane öğrenci çalıştırayım falan diyorsanız o zaman hiç koymasanız da olur. Kendinizi koysanız da olur. Hayali karakter koysanız da olur. Ama tutarlılık önemli yani. Bu arada ikisi de yanlış değil yani. İyi adam yani çok kompleks bir iş çıkartacaksanız ya da sürekliliği uzun bir iş çıkartacaksanız o zaman şey çıkartmak önemli. E, Tecrübeli adamlarla iş yapmak önemli. Ama ben abi bir şey denemek istiyorum noktasındaysanız o zaman tecrübesizlerle de işi götürebilirsiniz. Yani bu işte tamamen şirket planlarına göre. Ben genel olarak mesela şirket kuracak olsam şey isterdim yani. Ee, Çok iyi bir adam ve onun sözünü dinleyecek junior, mid-year developerlar şeklinde kurgulardım. Böyle ekiplerde çünkü şey oluyor. Ee, Senior'ın e, ya oyun fikrimi de ona göre adapte ederdim bu arada. Çünkü öyle ekiplerde şey oluyor. Senior developer'dan 5 tane varmış gibi oluyor aslında. Hani bayağı iyi oluyor. Junior'lar adamı dinliyorsa e, bayağı güzel bir ekip çıkıyor. Bir de senior'ın yapmak istemediği işler de var. Yani çok basit olduğu için yapmak istemeyeceği işler de var. Onları da junior'a verdiğinde junior hem motive oluyor hem de hızlıca çıkartıyor. Yani ikisi birbirinin dezavantajlarını gideriyor aslında. E, Öyle bir şey söyleyebilirim yani. Benim gördüğüm en azından böyle. Şimdi hani ekran paylaşayım. Oyuna devam edelim. Tamam, record da ediyoruz. Okay, now if we click play, nothing will happen because we have not add any mess. And like as in the previous lecture, I'm going to actually let me just get my charger adapter. Sorry. So yeah, as in the last lecture, I'm going to add some mass to the cube for, since I have already selected the cube, I will just click add components and add rigid body. Since I have not a 2D project, I go with rigid body. If I have a 2D project, I should add rigid body 2D. Okay. And now everything looks fine. And I'm going to save my scene again. Now I want to move my character, but before that, let's see how everything looks. So great. The color coding is not that definitive, so I'm going to actually change a little bit. So I hit brown material and I choose a more different color. Yeah, like this.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, sure.
When we click play button, your game screen became full screen. How can we do this?
Exactly. Yeah, glad you asked. I forgot to mention that. So if we, by the way, there are some choices that you cannot see when you shrink the game panel, right? So if you open it, you can see that maximize on play choice appears. So I click on that. If I deselect it, it becomes darker color. And now when I hit play or when I hit Command P, it looks the same size. But when I enable maximize on play and then click Command P, then the game screen gets larger. Yeah. Okay. So now I want to add a way to control my cube. Before that, I'm going to actually create a longer floor. And I'm going to, since as you see, this is Z-axis. So I should scale it bigger in the Z-axis. This is why I'm going to hit plane scale Z. And now I'm going to go up to 1,000. I can adjust it like this as well, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to go with row. Now, as you see, it's a long road. And now I want to, I want the road to be, you know, in the front rather than in the back of my cube. So I'm going to drag it like this. I drag it too much. I'm going to drag it back a little bit. And now I'm going to choose my cube, and I will hit F to focus it. And as you see, most of the road is in front of the cube. Actually, I'm going to choose plane again and drag it a little more forward. Yeah, I guess it's good enough. I can even position it in the z-axis like this. So now we have a long road in front of us, and it all looks good. Okay, so now, like I said, I want to add some movements. Before that, I am going to change the names of those 3D objects. I'm going to name this floor, since it represents the length we are going to step in, and this is going to represent our player. Okay, and now I'm going to add a behavior to my player, and adding a behavior means that's adding a component. They're not the same thing, but to add a behavior to your object, you go and click Add Components, and you add a script, and you choose new script. But since my screen is a little off, there used to be a new script button here, but for some reason I'm not. Okay, as I recall, there was a new script choice here, but I couldn't find it right now. So instead I'm going to show you the other way of adding a script. And this is going to assets folder and right-clicking, then creating a script. And now I'm going to call this player movements behavior. I named it behavior, but it could also be called just player movements if you want. Now I'm going to go to player, and again it's components, and now I'm going to write player. Okay, now it's going to open up new script choice. Okay, so yeah, now I can. Sorry. Yeah, when I want to add components, as you see, it's the choice at the bottom. So now we are able to see I can add my second behavior here, and now it creates and adds the behavior. This is something I added just to show you. And if you see it here, it creates my second behavior in the folder hierarchy as well. But I'm not going to use my second behavior. I'm just going to remove components from here, and I'm going to also delete this with commands backwards button. And I'm not sure how to delete it's in Windows, but yeah, you can also right click and click delete. So now we have player movements behavior, but it's not inside the player. So I want to add player movements behavior like this. I searched for the name and I clicked it, so it added. So if there's something unclear, just ask because I don't want any confusions. And I'm going to also check if someone wants to visit our lecture as well. but I guess not. Yeah, okay, and if you don't have any questions, let's continue. So there are two different ways to open a script. One of them is clicking from the folder hierarchy. You know, if you double click, it opens your script in your preferred development environments. It is Rider for me. You can change your preferred development environment from, as I remember, edit preferences. Let's check it. So in Mac, it's below Unity preferences. And if you go to external tools here, there should be a Rider choice. Yeah, external script editor is, as you see, Rider. I could change it to Visual Studio. And now let's see where it opens our script. So as you see now, it opens the Visual Studio. So it's as simple as that. I'm okay. So I should log in for this, but I'm okay. I don't even need to log in. It opens my script in Visual Studio for Mac. But like I said, I'm not going to use Visual Studio, so I'm going to close it, and I'm going to go to Unity preferences again, and I'm going to change Visual Studio to Rider. By the way, if you download something such as Visual Studio or Rider, you should choose it here before you want to edit your scripts. So you do that only once. Okay. What else? Yeah, I'm going to close this one again, and I'm going to reopen my player movement behavior. Now we will start to see some code for the first time. Okay. So in Unity, there are actually in game development, there are three different data types. Okay. One of them is called the configuration data. It holds the different enemies in your fields. If you have a card game, it can hold different card data. So if you have an FPS game, it can hold different classes of warriors or shooters, and it can hold different data of different weapons and health packs. So this is called configuration data. The second one is called the state data, I guess. So state data represents the current state that your player is in. So it holds the cards in your deck, for instance. It can also hold your chosen class. It can also hold your purchased weapons, etc. And there's a third category of data in a game, and it's called runtime data. So runtime data is the one that is affected by the game itself. So it gets changed inside the game. For instance, your speed in a car race can change. Your health in PUBG can change inside the game. If you are poisoned, for instance, in some games, your health drops within the game, within each second. So this type of data is called runtime data. And in Unity, in the most basic form of Unity, runtime data is wrapped with the logic that changes it, okay? And if you want to add a behavior that holds runtime data and that manipulates runtime data, you you inherit from a class that is called MonoBehaviour, okay? So in MonoBehaviour, there are some useful functions that create runtime data. So you can initialize runtime data, and also you can edit your runtime data with the passing of time. So I talked about three different kinds of data. What was that? So configuration data and state data. They don't they don't need to change within the game. So it can, for instance, state data can show you some achievements maybe, but those are the types of data that sticks within the game. But runtime data is inside the game, so, and it changes at a more quick rate in generally. So to change this data, to manipulate this data, and sometimes to read this data, there are some useful functions that MonoBehaviour allows us to use, okay? And first of those methods or functions is called start, and the other one is called update. So start, by the way, yeah, start works before the first frame update. So we should talk about frames now. As if you are a gamer, you probably heard the term frame per second, and it can be shortened as FPS. So frame per second means the number of different pictures you show to your player within each second, okay? And you generally aim for an FPS value of 60 or higher in your games. And what this says here is that the start function gets called before you show anything to your player. So this is why you do your initializations here. You create or you access to your needed variables here to make everything working properly. And there's also another popular method which is called updates. So updates is called once per frame. So these are the things that I mean, inside updates, you update your runtime data. So in start, you initialize your runtime data, and in updates, you update those values. Now, since this is a player movement behavior, I'm going to access to my player, okay? By the way, if you command click or control click on MonoBehaviour, it loads and opens the code that Unity wrote for us. And these red writing is just to define what the code does. So these are command lines. And you can check what is in here. But basically, within a game, all of those start methods gets called by Unity. And after that, for each frame, Unity looks for all the scripts in your code and updates methods within each script gets called to before rendering the next frame. Okay, like I said, now to move my player, I need a way of accessing that player. So I'm going to access, I mean, there are different methods of movements in Unity. To make this more physics related, I'm going to go with accessing its rigid body. And I mean, you know, this is the type of, this is the class that I want to reach. So I'm going to call this variable player rigid body. And I'm going to create this as a private value. So rider automatically assumes it's private because I'm not accessing it from any other script. This is the access modifier. I can change it to public. In fact, I'm going to do that for now. This is the class. And as you see, there are different attributes of that class, such as velocity, angular velocity, drag, angular drag, mass. These are the things that you can reach from the editor itself, by the way. And you can change, use gravity, is kinematic values, etc. by calling those methods. But now I'm going to close rigid body. And now, since I made this public, it should show in the editor of Unity. Let's check if that is the case. So if I choose my player and if I go inside player movements behavior, okay. In this Unity version, it's not shown. In some versions, it's okay now. Okay, since I forgot to save, Control S saves your scripts, by the way, in Rider. And if you click Control Save, the Unity editor also gets updated. And now, as you see, I can edit this. I can see what is inside this variable. Currently, there is no variable assigned to that. So I'm going to assign it, actually. But before that, I'm going to change the access modifier of this to private. Now, I save my script again. And if you see, it's not shown in the editor. Actually, we prefer private variables in our code because we don't want, we just want to allow access to different scripts if they have to access. So because of that, we prefer the most strict access modifier that we can use. If it is private, we use that. If if private doesn't solve our problem, then we choose protected. If even protected doesn't solve our problem, then we resort to public methods. Okay, but there's there are two things that I want. I want to make my variable private, and I want to make it visible in the editor. So there's a cool way of doing this, which is called serialized field. This is a new, relatively new feature. So if I write serialized fields with those brackets, and if I click save, now it's a private value, but I'm able to access it from the editor. So this is a nice way of accessing it. Now I want to access to my player's rigid body. So this is why I'm going to click rigid body and drag it onto player rigid body. Now this player movements script knows which rigid body I want to access. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. And now,
Can I ask something?
yeah, sure. Go ahead.
If we didn't do the serialized field thing, how can we tanıtmayı unuttum. Hocam nasıl tanıtacağız öbür türlü?
So there are different methods of letting this script know of your preferred object. I mean, the best way is actually even not writing this part of the code, but accessing it within start methods with get components rigid body, and you get your rigid body I mean, you get the rigid body that is inside your player. But another popular method is you know, dragging and dropping on the editor. And to do that, there are different methods. You can either make this one public, or you can make this private and also write serialized field. So since we don't want this to be public, we choose the better method, which is calling this private and also writing serialized field on top of that.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. I mean, these two go together if you want to access a private member from the editor. And okay, since you are able to access our player's rigid body, now I want to give it some movements. Okay, how do you give movements to a mess? Any opinions? So remember your physics lectures. Okay, how do you move a mess?
We can add force
exactly
from a direction.
Exactly, and we are going to do exactly that. I'm going to write player rigid body dot. By the way, if you noticed, until I write something inside update or start, they look gray. They are grayed out. But as soon as I wrote something, since they do actual work, they get colors. So now, if I write player rigid body dot add force, I get to add force. So Rider has a good intelligence, so it intelligently senses what I want to code, and it gives me some tips. So there are different ways of adding force. One of them is writing the vector of the force. Other one is defining the vector inside add force method. So I'm going to, I mean, I want to move my player in the Z axis. So this is why I'm going to write 0, 0, and 100. And now this means that within update, our player rigid body, I mean, we add force to our player rigid body in the Z axis. Okay, now I'm going to hit save, and let's see how this looks in the game. Okay, that looks good. Now the problem is, of course, our player rotates, and we don't want that. And to fix that, I need to remove the fraction between floor and player. So let me just check how to do that. So I guess we do that by adding a material. Let me check that. So we create a physics material, yeah, with 0 friction material. And there, as you see, there are two types of materials. One of them is responsible for how my object looks. The other type of material, which is physics material, is responsible for how my object not behaves, but what is the correct word? How my object interacts with the physics engine, physics material. Let's call it like this. By the way, if you click once, you can change the name of your folders or your files. And now I'm going to choose a dynamic friction of 0 and static friction of 0 too. And now I'm going to add this inside my floor. So I can, I mean, I could edit in two ways. I can click add component and 0. For some reason, I'm not. Okay, this is weird. Okay, how? Oh, okay. I guess for materials, we should drag it here. Yeah. So now, as you see, material inside mesh collider is edited. So now it's 0 friction physics material. I'm going to check something. Okay, so now if we hit play again, it goes smoothly. And now I'm going to send you a link without much delays, since this Zoom meeting will going to terminate, so there will be no breaks. I'm going to send you right away.